What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about Cade Mays, offensive lineman out of Tennessee. Now, he is a junior, so he could stay back another year. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea to do that, but we'll get into that. He's 6'6" and 320 pounds, and one of the things I noticed right away is that he has played all 5 positions on the offensive line. He at least has experience at all those positions. And that can be good for you if you end up with injuries. Like, Miami has had offensive line injuries all year long. And think like, I don't like Jesse Davis if you're familiar with this with this channel. But one of the things that is okay about him is that if the left tackle goes down, the right tackle goes down, left guard, right guard, he can go and play that spot. At least he has some experience doing it. Cade Mays can kind of do things like that in emergency situations. But because of that, he hasn't been able to play one position for very long. I'll get into where I think he should play in a minute after I talk about some of his traits, because I do have a thought on that. But as far as his actual traits go, the first one that jumps off the screen is the fact that he moves very well for his size. He can cover ground very quickly with his feet. And that's my favorite thing about him. He has a pretty decent quick set, but it kind of turns into lunges sometimes, and that can be kind of dangerous, especially with really good defensive linemen that you're going to face in the league. They can pull cloth, they can swim move, they can pull down on your hands. In any of those situations, you're going to end up on your face if you lunge. So I'd like to see him stop doing that. We'll get into that in a minute. I'm trying to find all the positives in my notes before I get into the negatives. That's it, actually. His power is pretty good. He's fairly powerful, and that's kind of why I prefer him at guard. Now, some of the negatives, man, I think a lot of it is just due to him playing so many different positions. But his base is inconsistent as hell. Like I said, his ability to move is pretty good. But his base sometimes gets really wide, and a lot of times it gets really narrow, and that's going to be really easy for defensive linemen to just kind of push you over if your base is too narrow. Generally, you want your feet pretty much parallel with your shoulders, more or less. His knee bend is okay. I did forget to say that. He seems to miss a lot in open space. Like I said, he moves really well, so he can pull. But when he gets to the second level, he misses with his hands a lot. So that's something he really needs to work on. He does seem to just look a little bit lost sometimes, too, in those situations. Like he doesn't know who to block. Again, I think that's just because of him having to play different positions and not really being very comfortable. I'd like to see him strike first a little bit more consistently. Like I said, his power is pretty solid. So I'd like to see him punch a little bit and not wait for people to come to him. He doesn't handle quick guys very well. Like I said, he moves pretty well, but his base is inconsistent. So the really fast, twitchy guys can kind of hurt him sometimes. I don't particularly like him at tackle because, like I said, he seems to get lost on who to block sometimes. And like I said, the quick, twitchy guys kind of give him problems. But he does have some power. So personally, I think guard would be the best spot for him. You don't have to think too much at guard. You just block the guy in front of you. And so long as you can deal with power, you're generally okay. But his hands do need to get more consistent regardless. Zone runs, he needs to not look lost. He needs to not miss in open space. All those things are things he really needs to work on. So personally, I think he should stay back another year. Hopefully Tennessee can just put him at guard and just keep him there. Keep him at one spot. Let him work at that one spot and improve. Because right now, he kind of looks like he's played all 5 positions, but he doesn't play any of them particularly well. I do think he's a better guard than a tackle. But personally, I just think he needs a little bit more work. That's all. But like I said, he is fairly athletic and he's strong. He's got the size you want, so he has a fairly high ceiling. But I just think he really needs to work on some of the fundamentals of being an offensive lineman. So I think staying another year would really benefit him. And if he does come out, I wouldn't want to start him right away, to be honest. He might have to, depending on where he goes. If their offensive line is really that bad, he might just have to start. But I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I appreciate you hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.